started playing for Gloucestershire when I was 14 or 15 in the second 11. We used to have 2 weeks every summer as youngsters playing in what was called the Gloucestershire Young Cricketers, and there were no academies or anything. And we used to sleep in the change rooms with our sleeping bags for 2 weeks and play all the other counties. So I remember the old pavilion and as it was all those years ago very well. I've slept in there a few times. And we were told by our coach that if we misbehaved, the ghost of W.G. Grace would come and get us. So I've got a great affinity and many fond memories, and I sort of almost grew up really at the ground. It's been a big part of my life. I played with so many great players at Bristol. Courtney Walsh comes to mind because I used to love keeping wicket to Courtney. There was a chance of an edge all the time, and they would be ducking and weaving, so the ball would come through a lot, and that was great. And to have him and Sid Lawrence, David Lawrence, the other end, Kevin Curran, I enjoyed it. But Courtney, such a gentleman. But when I first joined the team, the great Zahir Abbas from Pakistan, who was a beautiful player, so I used to love watching him bat. And probably in the later years, Ian Harvey, who we used to call the freak, because basically he could do everything. The ground was normally packed for the cup final games. In particular, the lads over in the Jessup Tavern on that side of the ground, which is where the flats are now, and you've got the scoreboard in that corner. There used to be a little shack there, so they used to congregate on that side, and they used to come out with the greatest chants you ever heard, you know, some you can't repeat. And at one point when we went to the finals, this chicken would come out, this old chicken that was in a freezer. It had been there since the last win in 1977, and they used to wave this chicken around and they would want to take it back to Lord's, so that was always great. And they brought it in the change room one day actually, and I wore black gloves for most of my career. It was blacker than my gloves, this chicken. And the smell, it was worse than the smell of my gloves as well. So they brought this chicken, because we'd never seen it close up, so the supporters brought it in one day. It was an amazing experience, but they were great, and they were always there. Even when things got difficult, they were always there to support us. When I was working with the academy a few years ago, the women's game, it was still in its infancy and it was progressing, and young girl cricketers would come and join in and play. But to see what they're achieving now, women's cricket, not just England but worldwide, it's a fantastic incentive, and there is a career for women in cricket. So youngsters of today, to see that, it can only inspire the cities that it's playing in. It can only be a good thing for Bristol that the women's game has come to Bristol, and we're a good side. We're one of the best teams in the world, if not the best, and that can only inspire our youngsters. So hopefully many top-class women cricketers of the future are ahead of us.